Welcome to the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. This is Season 3, Episode 13. Houston, we have a problem. Well, let's hope not. This season we're bringing you the world in a can, and the piece of the world that we're serving up today is a little chunk of Australia. The wine nerd word of the week is puncheon. Puncheon. A puncheon is an 80-gallon oak barrel that is used to age wine. Each of these wine barrels has various regional names, and a puncheon is one that describes a fairly large. When you think that oil comes in a 45-gallon drum, this is twice that size. And our can of the week, without any further ado, the 2022 vintage Nero ďAvola Red 250 milliliter can from Riot Wine Company from Australia. It's 14% alcohol per volume. Its winemaker is Tom O'Donnell from the McLaren Vale area of Australia. And he's, according to his website, quite committed to the can concept because it's shippable, sustainable, and recyclable. He also sells this in full-size kegs like you would get beer in, although that would be a different podcast. That would be the kegged wine podcast, and it may take a little longer to produce. So where does it come from? Well, you can't actually buy this can anywhere because this came from the International Canned Wine Competition, the 2024 version, which occurs in Mendocino County, California. And this was, in fact, a gold medal winner. So we're very excited to try this wine. Now, the Nero ďAvola is a native Sicilian grape that has, in the last little while, I think it was 1998, it was brought down to Australia and grown there. And it's a very dark red wine that has its own charm, and one that I have not tried before. And the Toorak farmer, Nero ďAvola, Toorak is an Australian name. I think it might refer to native farmers. So that's the story behind this one. It's minimal intervention. They use native yeasts, aged initially in stainless steel, and then spends 9 months in French oak puncheons, which probably gives it a very smoky taste. So without any further ado, we will open this wine and talk about it. I noticed when I was looking at this can, it actually has a sample only, not for sale. So I think that's because this was sent to the competition where it did very well and did get a gold medal. This is a very, as you can see from the looking at it, a very dark wine. It does have some serious legs. Yeah, I definitely can smell black cherry, plum. They say it has flavors of dried fruit. Yep. Interesting taste. This would go well with, I would say, dark meats, maybe a duck, maybe lamb, anything like that. Although it is rumored to taste very good with Greek foods such as gyros or moussaka. Our shout out this week goes to a frequent viewer and just a guy I see in my neighborhood. He's the florist at the local grocery store. Happy Thanksgiving. Leave us a comment. And for him, his swag is on the way. He joined us on YouTube and said that he had watched the episodes there and quite enjoyed it. So good to see you today. And like I said, the swag is on the way. Also, a shout out to our followers on Spotify. Please join us on YouTube, where you can see all this and more, and really enjoy the whole visual concept as well. Now, as we always do on this portion of the podcast, the head scratcher. Last week's answer was the Canned Wine Podcast cap is listed at $15 or best offer on eBay. We've had a few people look at it, but haven't had any offers. So search it, check eBay, just type in the Canned Wine Podcast, same as you would punch into YouTube to find us there. And you'll be surprised. Make us an offer. We'll see what happens. Now, this week's head scratcher, to leave it with you. I've kind of given the answer away, but if you're real got a good memory, you'll remember. Otherwise, what year did the Nero ďAvola grape come to Australia? Check that out and let me know, and we'll give you the answer if you can't remember next week, and we'll give you something you can put on the bobby, as they would say in Australia. In closing, thank you for tuning into the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. Remember to enjoy responsibly. Just because it comes in a can doesn't mean you can drink and drive. The Canned Wine Podcast is a center stage production, all rights reserved.